Can Billy Joe Saunders beat Saul Canelo Alvarez? That is the big question that many have been asking lately. Well, let's start first with the facts, of course. Billy Joe Saunders has not really had that many fights since he entered the 168 division. And in some of those fights, people have said he didn't look his best, even though he won another world title. And Canelo, on the other hand, has been looking more impressive in his last fights than in some of those previous ones, I guess. Yeah, so if you look at the tail of the tape, of course, Saunders has got a 2-inch height advantage and 1 inch or 1/2 inch reach advantage. Actually, BoxRec has Canelo at 5'8", so I have seen rate at 5'9". But anyway, the height disparity isn't, of course, the big deal, because Alvarez has already fought guys like Rocky Fielding, who was 6'1", and Callum Smith 6'3", so that should not be the problem. The problem for Alvarez is simply that he has not fought many fighters like Saunders that were so tricky and awkward. I guess one that can be that most compared to him that Canelo has fought is Erislandy Lara. And what happened when Canelo fought him? Even though that was quite some time ago now, but still, you remember that he struggled against him. Even though he did land some good punches, he definitely had his moment, but he was far from dominant, in that fight. And I remember some people were saying that Lara should have gotten the decision, and all that stuff. So that's what happens when you fight top fighters, all the time, which Alvarez has been doing for some time now, except in his last fight, of course, and against Rocky Fielding. That Lara fight was in 2014, that's right. So anyway, the difference between Lara and Saunders is, I guess, that Saunders is a bit taller, but also he's not such a puncher as Lara can be. We just saw, of course, last weekend that Lara really can't punch when he destroyed the guy 1 round at 160. So yeah. But as I said, most guys Canelo has fought so far were guys, that were, there to fight, not to box so much. But some of them did try to box. But those who were too scared to just, I guess, come at him. But most others were guys who were, trying to simply outpunch him, to get the better of him, in a war, like Golovkin, for instance, and a few others, of course, even Amir Khan, you might say. come on. So, I don't think that's what Saunders will be doing, of course. He'll be trying to get him out of his comfort zone and, just box, and move around. So if he succeeds in doing that, of course, there's no way that this can be in one-sided fight. One-sided fight, for especially for Saunders. There's no way that he can just dominate the entire fight. I doubt that Canelo will either. Only if Saunders turns out to be in bad shape or whatever, bad spirits, I don't know. So yeah, so definitely Saunders, of course, has never been knocked out. Has he really been knocked down yet? I'm not sure really. Um, I guess he maybe has been down once or something. I'm not sure. Or maybe not. I cannot really see that he has been down ever so far. So that's pretty special. 30-0. He is 14 knockouts. And he's now 31 of age, so he's been around for some time as well. He and Canelo are of almost the same age. Canelo is 30 still, but Canelo has been fighting for 4 years longer as a pro. Yes. So, I mean, there are simply, no matter how much many of us would like to see an upset, there are just chances for that are just too small because Saunders, of course, as I said, he can outbox Canelo in parts of the fight anyway. I don't know if he can really outbox him down the stretch, just enough to get a decision. And even if he could, even if he should succeed in that, which isn't likely, then still it doesn't have to mean that he will get a decision. That's how rotten the whole establishment in Vegas is, So it's a very, very unfair, uneasy task for Billy Joe Saunders. Yeah. If he, by some miracle, should be able to stop Canelo, then that will be the greatest victory, of course. One of the greatest upsets ever, so. But it's more likely that Canelo will stop him than the other way around. Even though I do think that Canelo, I mean, if nobody has even been able to get him down yet, that Canelo will not likely be able to stop Saunders, unless it would be by a cut, or something, some kind of injury. Yes, so there was some controversy, of course, over the size of the ring and all that, because I think, of course, Saunders and his people are, don't want a small ring because that's perfectly suited for a puncher and, the guy who will be the hunter in this fight. And so for a boxer, for technical fighter, of course, a bigger ring. The bigger ring, the better, of course. So he can, just slither around, just kind of avoid punches and move around, so he won't be trapped along the ropes so easily. So that will be also interesting to see if Saunders will avoid getting trapped too many times, because that can be dangerous, of course. Yes, it's still Canelo. We are talking about a true monster. All right, so of course, my prediction most likely outcome would be a decision victory for Canelo. So yeah, maybe I could see a draw. Maybe if Saunders beats him in reality, then maybe it can be score a draw. So maybe in that case they would probably have a rematch. So yeah. So anyway, Canelo should win most likely. I'm not saying he will win for real. I don't know, maybe, but that will be the most likely result. Anyway, all right. So that was all for now. See you and take care. Have fun. Enjoy the fight. Bye bye.